Hey guys, Benish here, bringing you the next game in the IPL San Francisco face-off, and this is Fornot versus MTW.NA. So Fornot, one bad Brad is going to instantly DC. Yeah, no, he's still flying, it's all good. This is obviously online qualifiers for the actual event, and that is why I haven't actually posted a video in a couple of days. I was watching the IPL face-off sort of grand final Shazam thing in obviously San Fran, and you know it was pretty good. You know, the teams definitely seeing well, I'm not going to spoil it because hopefully they will also release replays of that, so I can also commentate over them as well. But looking in this game, we do have like sort of an early invasion of Fornot, but they think we're just going to place a ward down here, and this is something that a lot of teams start doing. I'm actually going to turn the sound down just ever so slightly. And this is what we see a lot of teams doing. We see them placing a ward here so they get Wraith control. And the reason why this is good is you see Xmithy. He is obviously playing Nautilus, and he'll most likely start blue. So he does his blue, and then he goes down to Wolves, and you know, happy fun times. But then he goes over to the Wraiths, and then we actually get to see, well, Fornot gets to see what he's doing there, what time he sort of finishes his Wraiths and what time he's going to start doing red. That gives them an approximate time of when he's going to gank, so that sort of lets you know when and when not to push out, when and when not to go for certain objectives, etc. So we do actually see Xmithy stealing the Wraiths and actually maybe going for this red buff, so sort of underneath Nocturne's nose a little bit here. They're being a bit sneaky about it. I don't think they got caught out by Orianna, so a very sneaky red buff, and this is going to give Xmithy a lot of early dominance in lane. The blue buff actually resetting on one bad Brad thanks to Morgana, and maybe first blood's going down here. Math and Q getting exhausted. One bad Brad gonna go down for the first blood, going down to Morgana. Mandatory Cloud taking a lot of damage. Orianna picking up the kill onto Alistair, so it's a 1-1 in the mid lane, and I think Mandatory Cloud's gonna die here. I don't know why it went up to top lane. But no, managed to get to the turret, so she's going to get away. So not a bad trade-off. That's going to put Nocturne very far behind, and Alistair's just going to go back to lane, you know, fine and dandy. We see Ezreal in the mid lane. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just keeping the lane for Morgana. I don't know, let's go with that. And so that's actually going to put one bad Brad a little bit behind, because now he has to go back, he has to do his blue buff, whereas Nautilus already has red buff, like straight away. He's already done the Wraith camp, he's already done red buff, he's already done his own Wolves, and one bad Brad just finishing blue buff there. So that's an extreme lead for Nautilus, and that's exactly what he needs to get into this game. He can go out ganking a lot, like much sooner than one bad Brad, and one bad Brad, he's Nocturne. He's pretty dependent on level 6 as well, so it's going to slow down his time getting to level 6. It's going to slow down those ultimate darkness from Nocturne that will absolutely obliterate lanes. But yeah, so very good play from MTW.NA there. And oh, Irelia going on to Vladimir, a bit of damage, but health potion probably going to cure that. And actually, one bad Brad going in for this blue buff. Xmithy taking a lot of damage. There goes the smite. Wonderful play there from one bad Brad, actually picking up the blue buff. So that's 2 reds going to Xmithy. Actually, he didn't pick up his own red, but if he goes and picks up his own red now, then that would be 2 reds going to Xmithy and 2 blues going to Nocturne, which is weird. You would have thought that Nautilus would be the more blue buff dependent champion there, but we'll see how that works out. Nautilus really needs to pick up this red buff. If Nocturne actually gets over there and takes it before Xmithy does get there, then Xmithy sort of wins the early phase, which is a bit weird considering he did die. And Mandatory Cloud taking a lot of damage. And I'm going to mess up his name every single time, I think. We do actually see balls on Ezreal here, and we got Corki played by Parallel. And Corki is pretty good against Ezreal, mainly because Corki has that wave clear, and that's one thing that Ezreal can't do effectively. He can't wave clear, so you can really push the minion wave up to Ezreal's face, make him farm underneath the tower, make him miss some CS, and win the CS lane that way. So that's a really strong advantage for Fornot there. However, both aggressive lanes down there. They do have the Alistair for MTW.NA, very strong, very high ability to pick up kills, and we also have Zekan from 4-Not playing that Tarek. So Tarek obviously having that straight stun, you know, you can't really miss that stun. Also having the heals and the armor shredding. So both really kill lanes there. If only there was a Leona. And Irelia actually going on to Holy, it's Don. And Holy, it's Don having to pull the Fear Tether going out. The Fear's going to hit, but the heal, and they're going to back out of this. That summoning heal just saving Vladimir there. Takashi X taking a lot of damage. He's probably going to go down. No, the flash over the wall, the Ignite, just not going to pick it up. Can Xmithy pick this up? No, they're going to back away from that. And good flash from Takashi X. Realizing he could get out there. Realizing he would have enough health after the Ignite. Realizing that Morgana had pretty much used everything. And Xmithy, with no anchor, couldn't really pick up that kill. So good escape there from mid and from top. And both sort of very strong ganks. I mean, normally you see ganks and they go in and then they get caught out by a ward or something and then it just completely fails. But both ganks working out simultaneously there. Somebody heal burnt on Vladimir and flash burnt on Orianna. Nocturne actually in the mid lane there. Finding Mandatory Cloud. The Q goes down. Balls taking a bit of damage there. There goes the headbutt pulverize. Oh, and this is going to be a dead patrol. But the exhaust onto Balls. Will he be able to pick up this kill? One more Q, one more auto attack, and he picks it up. Zekan taking a lot of damage. Balls just going to get out of there. And just beating Corki there. As I did say, Corki sort of has the advantage lane-wise. But in a 1v1, I don't know. I'm going to probably put it to Ezreal. Just with that Q and W. The W with the attack speed slow. And also the Q just for the extra damage. Just really hurts in laning phase. And definitely before 6, before Corki has those rockets to do some extra damage. Balls has a little bit of advantage. You're going to use that ulti just to push out the minion wave. Mandatory Cloud going down with the stun. There goes the pull. Maybe knock him out the pull. The ulti goes down from Takashi X. Takashi X does go down. So nice gank there from Nautilus. Not really doing much. But I suppose Mandatory Cloud might not have picked up the kill. I don't know. So it's actually 1-1 for Orianna in the mid lane there, but 2-0 on Morgana. Morgana looking very strong, picking up that double Dorans. A very weird build. Normally you see Morgana picking up a Roa just for the extra mana and health, and actually a lot of aggression on top lane. Irelia trying to take down Vladimir. Vladimir a bit too fast. They both have tier 1 boots, so as soon as one of them picks up tier 2, it could mean a kill in that top lane. See Ezreal picking up that Phage already, very strong for 1v1ing, very strong for aggression, really wanting to slow down Corki and just make sure he can't get back to his tower fast enough. So just farming in the top lane, Irelia being able to farm insanely with that Q, just dashing to minions. Oh, and the ulti goes down from Irelia, trying to pick up the kill here, but Holy it's done. They both have the same move speed. In fact, I think Vladimir might have a bit more. Vladimir on 376. And thought something was happening in the bot lane here. Except actually Xmithy looking to get this blue. No, won't get there fast enough. And let's go direct to camera. And Muffin QT. Oh, the ganks. Ball's just missing with his ulti. Can Parole get out of this? No, doesn't manage to get out of this, but Muffin QT does pick up the kill. The ulti actually goes down. Sort of a bit of miscommunication there. Muffin QT wanted to go in for the dive. Ball's not really wanting to. So, bit of a miscommunication there. Could have picked up another kill if they went for it. Oh, I think Muffin QT may have died in the process. But still, that would have been another kill for Balls. But oh well. And we actually see Irelia coming down just to help out with this blue buff. Oh, it's actually an invade. Okay, that's good to know. So mandatory. So they're actually going to be feeding this blue buff to Irelia. Orianna already has the blue buff as well, and no, one bad Brad's going to pick it up. So Irelia was just there for a bit of defense, just against Nautilus if he does show up. So I think they knew that Nautilus went back, so they thought, you know, let's go and pick this up. Be a nice little advantage for our team. And I can't help but think that blue buff might have been a little bit stronger onto Irelia. Irelia sort of doesn't have that bad mana problems, but using that Q to farm a lot, as we saw her doing in lane, does take up a lot of mana, and unless you build a Philo Stone, which she's not actually doing, she's going straight for the recursive bow, so she's building a Wit's End and probably Merc Treads. That's why she's got a double Null Magic Mantle. You know, maybe the blue buff might have been a bit stronger, I don't know. This is why I'm not on 4-0. So, yeah, I have no clue. So, actually, One Bad Brad, level 6, maybe gonna ulti something. There we go, the ulti onto Mandatory Cloud. Saw it coming. And Mandatory Cloud taking a lot of damage. One Bad Brad gonna try and take this down. A lot of attack damage. Takashi X very low as well. Can they pick up the kill? The flash Q from Nautilus gonna pick up the kill onto Takashi. There we go, the ult goes down, and possibly a double kill onto One Bad Brad. But no, his Q move speed. Oh, and here comes Vladimir. The spell shield goes down, but it gets warded off. There's the ulti and the Q ulti. Maybe a bit of an overkill there, but just wanting to secure that kill, making sure that he did just enough damage. So wonderful turnaround. That flash Q from Nautilus really stopping One Bad Brad from picking up the kill onto Morgana there. So wonderful play, and this is probably going to be a free dragon to MTW.NA. They are 6-1 at the moment, a 2.5k gold lead. This is going to boost it just that little bit more to about about 3k gold lead, about 3.5. And looking like Irelia is actually going to take this top lane. Good idea. We usually see this. We usually see if your top lane, you do take down the top tower if the team goes for dragon, if the enemy team goes for dragon, because their top lane will most likely go down there, and you want to even out the gold. So that's 150 gold to compensate for the 190 gold just given out. Unfortunately, though, you can only do this. Well, you can only do this 3 times. But if you're doing it 3 times, then you sort of have a bit of an advantage. The Q actually goes down. I really wants to go for this, but it's a double buff Vlad. Probably not the smartest idea. And One Bad Brad is actually sitting in the tri-bush there. Maybe wanting to go for something. Ball's taking that double golem just for a little bit of XP advantage. And a bit more money. But no, nothing's going to happen. Alright, it's just going to be there. And oh, we could see a turret dive coming from Alistair. A bit ballsy. But no, there's actually going to be a ward down there. And weird play. Muffin QT placing a ward at the back line there. Maybe for Ezreal, when they get him low and they're retreating, Ezreal can get pure vision on that ultimate and just hit Parole or Zekant and just take him down like that. I don't know. Something like that. And we see Vladimir maybe going... Nah, he's just going to stay in lane. But top lane pushed a lot. And Morgana's actually here. Mandatory Cloud. Yeah, checking the Q. That wonderful play by Morgana. Not sitting in that tri-bush. Because he thinks something's going to go on here. The Q goes down from Morgana. It does actually miss. The headbutt was actually flash, so the pulverize could not hit. But wonderful play there from 4-0, really. They saw that ward going down and they were like, okay, what would be the reasons for placing a ward down there? Either they want more vision on that Ezreal ulti, or they can dive here. One by Red taking a lot of damage. The Morgana ultimate, oh, the damage coming down there. Orianna trying to do some damage as well. Takashi X taking a lot of damage. Mandatory Cloud going to get out of there. But that's a 1-for-1 trade. Muffin QT does go down to Tarek. However, one Brad goes down. So it's sort of like the trade-off that we had at level 1. Aurelia taking a lot of damage. Can he pull this back? Oh, and the pull, the wonderful timed pull, but the flash, and that's a dead Vladimir. Wonderful timed flash there. And as I was saying, we sort of saw the same thing we saw at level 1, where one bad Brad would go down, but then Muffin QT would go down, and it's a lot better for the jungler to go down than the support. And Balls stealing the blue buff there, being like, I'm Ezreal, I need mana. And I'm sure Mandatory Cloud not going to be happy about that. Or maybe he will be. Maybe they're going to pick up the blue from their own side. But we do see Irelia pushing quite a lot in that bot lane there. Blue has just respawned for MTW.NA. Smithy sort of just clearing the minions out a bit. Level 8, so a little bit low, but same as one bad Brad, so not too bad. Same as Parole, actually. Parole's been denied quite a bit in this game. 0, 2, and 2. Only has the Berserker Greaves and double Darns. We see one by Brad only with the Wriggles and a Ruby Crystal, whereas Xmithy sitting nicely on a Philostone, a Heart of Gold, and a Null Magic. So he's going to be picking up those Mercury Treads, just for the extra CC reduction, which is a bit overkill. No, more CC would be a bit overkill. That's just mean. Not being able to CC and then having 4 different types of CC, that's just mean. And Muffin Cutie's actually up here, so they may be looking to take this tower. Mandatory Cloud. Sort of. Oh, the ulti actually goes down. Is that really a smart idea? The slow trying to hit, the flash lands, and the stun also hits. So, Mandatory Cloud, a long range stun there. Very weird. But saw Xmithy coming down, trying to capitalize on it. Irelia taking a lot of damage. Balls, Muffin Cutie, and Vladimir all up in the top lane. One by Brad, the ignite, the tether actually goes down on Balls. Balls has to flash over the wall. Muffin Cutie taking a lot of damage. There goes the ultimate. Xmithy using the ultimate onto Irelia. Managing to pick up the kill for Balls there. Takashi X whiffing the Orianna ult there. Oh man. He is not going to be happy about that. Using that pretty long cooldown ultimate. But it looks like Fawn Up Patrol is just going to... Parole is just going to take this bot tower, I think. A lot of pressure happening in this top lane here. The ulti just missing from Orianna. That may have gained Fawn Up a kill or two. Hard to tell for sure, but still missing that ultimate is really not what they wanted to do. At least not what Takashi X wanted to do. And I didn't actually notice this, but Takashi X actually had teleport. So when we saw that fight in the bot lane underneath the tower, Takashi X got in there so quickly simply due to the teleport. And it's a very strong pickup on a mid lane. It's arguable. Ooh, a lot of damage going on to Vladimir there. Balls trying to do some damage back. There goes the ultimate and the double ultimate, Ezreal ultimate and Vladimir ultimate going down. And Nocturne's probably going to die from this as well. Zeke taking a lot of damage, does go down to Takashi X, also taking a lot of damage. Irelia onto Balls here. And just going to scale Balls off. Xmithy flash over the wall. The Q going to hit Takashi X, but the shield possibly saving him. No, not going to save him. And Balls actually picking up the kill onto Irelia. So wonderful play there. Balls and Vladimir, very good comp. Very good 2v1. The camera wanted to focus more on Xmithy, killing Irelia. Orianna, rather. And this is going to be a tier 2 turret for MTW.NA. So, before, sort of, Irelia was down here. And now they've actually pushed the second tier turret. So, really switching their focus there. Ward in that bush. They may be able to capitalize on this. The ulti could go down. There is the ulti onto Vladimir. The tether goes down as well. Xmithy actually coming in from behind. The pull does go down, but the fist still lands. And they're just going to get out of that. So, not really a good trade. Wasting an ultimate for a pull from Vladimir that's going to be up probably now. Not the best of trades. At least I think that's all he used. Yeah, that's all he used. So, not the best of trades. MTW.NA going to try and pick up this dragon. Most likely going to pick it up. So that's the second dragon, and Fortnite need to pick up a turret to sort of make it fair in gold wise. If not, then MTW.NA are just going to keep that gold lead. Currently at about 7k ahead, so that's a lot of gold to be ahead by, especially at the 18-minute mark. 7k, so divided by 5 people, it's about like 1.4k, which is like I don't know, a Hex Drinker. So everyone on MTW.NA could have a Hex Drinker right now. That's the gold lead. I'm sure they won't, but you know, just saying. So Balls and Muffin QT actually going to push this top lane while Vladimir's in the bot lane. So bit of a lane swap. Bit late for a lane swap, but maybe they're just doing it to farm each other's lane. Don't know for sure. Yeah, it looks like Balls was just sort of pushing back the wave so it wasn't hitting the turret. And so was Vladimir. So, yeah. No lane swaps. No lane swaps. And this blue buff definitely going to be going to Fortnite. I don't see how Mandatory Cloud could contest this. Doesn't pick it up, but takes a lot of damage in the meanwhile. The spell shield stopping the ultimate. No good. Takashi X not being able to get a decent ultimate off. I've only seen one. That was at bot lane about 10 minutes ago. But before then, it's sort of all his ultis have just been not very efficient. going to say it like that, so I don't hurt anyone's feelings. And that is a turret down for MTW.NA, 4-1 in turrets. Balls wants this turret. Oh, the Q onto Takashi X. The flash. Oh, ooh. Orianna getting flashed, pulverized by Muffin QT, and then knocked back into the team. So she definitely wasn't going to live that. And so we do actually see Balls on 504. So he already has that Trinity Force compared to Corki's BF Sword and Pickaxe. So Corki actually building that Infinity Edge just for a little bit of extra damage rather than the Trinity Force. Makes sense. Sort of, it's a better item if you're a bit far behind. So yeah, that sort of makes sense. And that's going to be an inhibitor. They took out Orianna, and now Fornot are just scared to engage. So that's going to be an inhibitor for MTW.NA, and they sort of just strolled in there. You know, they sort of just like, oh look, there's a turret. I'm going to take this. Oh, there's an inhibitor. I'm going to take this. Orianna with the teleport in actually up top. The shield goes down. Can they get a nice ulti off there? No, not really happening, but MTW.NA losing people. Xmithy picking up the kill onto Nocturne, and again Nocturne for Muffin QT. We see the same thing over and over again. Xmithy taking a little bit of poke damage there. Mandatory Cloud forced to stop recalling. The flash in from Takashi X, not really working in his favor. Parole actually getting queued in and ultied, and oh dear. See, that was a good fight for Fornot, sort of. I mean, they lost one by Brad, but they killed Muffin QT. So it's a 1-for-1, it's too bad, and then they sort of turned it into a 3-1. So yeah, not the best idea. They were trying to pick off some more people. They saw that Morgana was low, so she couldn't really do anything. They saw Xmithy was on about half-life. So they thought, you know, maybe we can pick up some more kills. And the flash from Orianna, she was just too far ahead of her team. That's what I feel. The flash sort of put too much distance away from her team to actually be able to help or pick up the kill before she died. So, and then Parole sort of being on the wrong side of the minions there, being caught out by the Q. And this game really not looking good for Fornot. MTW.NA 11k ahead at the moment, 6 turrets to 1, 16 kills to 5. So they sort of need a miracle. They need a Baron steal right now. And speaking of the Barons, that is what is going on right now. MTW.NA are just like, you know what, let's just take this. Let's just, you know, secure this Baron. Make sure there's no way of them possibly getting back in this game. They know it's not warded because Xmithy has that Oracles. And looks like, yeah, that's Baron Nashor. And Muffin QT on 1 bar. So, good thing he didn't die. Or else you'd just see it executed and then Fornot will probably laugh. But yeah. So that's a Baron, and basically free one, uncontested, no wardage down there. Xmithy obviously having that Oracle, so making it a little bit difficult to ward in the first place. And Fornot just left to defend. I mean, there's not much that they can really do at this point. They can't engage. It is basically a 5v4 if Orianna shows up, but they can't really engage against that Baron buff. The regen, the damage, it's a little bit too high. The pool actually going down for Vladimir just so he doesn't get ultied. And Takashi X should be able to minion clear quite efficiently with the QW combo, but that will wear his mana down quite a lot. Same thing for Parole. If he starts using those, they're actually just going to take this tower. Oh, and there goes the wonderful Q onto Parole. The Nocturne ulti going down just to clear vision. But no, they do manage to pick up Parole and Orianna, the two strongest people on that team at the moment. Except for Irelia. But that is a surrender vote there. They're realizing that they could basically do nothing. The gold lead was phenomenal. 13, so about 14k ahead. That's a lot of gold to be ahead by. 7 turrets down. GG. That is first game going to MTW.NA. Only 24-minute game, so quite a short game from me. Actually, this is a good time to explain what I was going to explain in the beginning of this video, but I completely forgot about. So we did see previously Chopper did lose to the other team, if I can remember their name. Anyway, this is the second sort of set in round 1. There is 4 sets in round 1, and then we'll be going to the winner round 2, and then the loser bracket. So thank you guys for watching this game. stick around for part 2.